And you mentioned in the previous question, Seattle Pride. Did you say Seattle Pride?
Yeah, so I'm still waiting to hear back from them, but that is the hope is that I'll be hopefully performing at Seattle Pride. So we'll see what happens.
Very cool. And I'm sorry, what made me go back to that was when you mentioned international. And very true, very true. Especially with the distribution that, and I'm not going to go too much on a tangent, but that we have as artistic creatives now. You don't have to go through major label studios and stuff like
Yeah,
that to get that international audience. So
yep.
yes, truly, you are. Absolutely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Now we are up. You see the little live in the top. We are live. So now we are up to part two of the interview questions. And the first part is, if you had all of the money power necessary, what would you do or change that you feel would most benefit the LGBT plus community?
Oh, that's really easy. I would fund all the houses as if they were nonprofit organizations. That's what I would do. I would get them registered as nonprofits, um, and I would invest my money in those nonprofits.
Wow. Okay. So when you say the houses, at first I was like, oh, are you talking about physical domiciles? But no, you're talking about like the House of LaBeija or the House of Ebony, or the
Yep.
House of anything. That is a great idea. I love it.
I mean, because I feel like houses provide so much for our community, um, and support for people who have nowhere else to go. They create these families that you know, I was fortunate to have a family that was nurturing and loving, and granted, I came out later on in my life to my family. Um, they've always known that I was different, and they've always been like supportive and protective of me because I've been different to them at that point. Um,
I love it.
and I feel like what houses do is that people who may not have had that, they provide that to them. And that takes resources. That takes money for food. That takes money for housing. That takes, yeah, they have like the ballroom scene and they win competitions and stuff like that. But it takes a lot to prepare for it. And then they also do a lot for the community outside of that. They hold toy drives. They, clothing drives. They do different things for the community all the time. And I think what I love is the mainstream attention that houses are getting right now. What I would love to see is like houses be funded in a way that they can really make the impact that they historically have been able to do. And so, if I had the money, I would register every single one of them and make sure that they are the organizations that I'm supporting.
Wow. That is such a good idea. And, I was going to make a topic about to whom do you donate money and stuff like that. And that would be so great because, yes, you could not only pick your favorite house, but you could just donate to any house because they all serve that good purpose. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yep. So, question number two, and it starts off with a quote, and it is, ask not where I live, or what I like to eat, or how I comb my hair, but ask me, what am I living for? In detail. Ask me what I think is keeping me from living fully for the thing I want to live for. Now, that's a quote by Thomas Merton. And the actual question is, what is your goal in life and what do you think is keeping you from achieving that goal?
So my goal in life is to. It sounds corny. I remember being a kid and my grandfather, who has been a preacher, a teacher. He's been over the district for education. Like he's done a billion things. But one thing that's never failed in the many years that I've been alive and been with them is every time we go somewhere, someone stops him and tells him what what he's done for them, what impact they had on their life. Um, and it could be the smallest thing. But the thing that struck a chord with me is the fact that these people now have kids who will later have kids. And they would take that nugget, not knowing it came from my grandfather, and it will be a part of their life forever. And so when I saw that, it led me to education. And I've been able to have almost a similar impact in education. But to take that, the just the lessons that you can learn from life and to be able to make that tangible and impactful for not 100 kids or I guess like in the years I've been a teacher, thousands of kids, but I can do that for millions of people who don't have a song to sing along to, um who may not connect with a mainstream artist because they don't see themselves in it. Um for someone who may be straight and never seen a gay artist do it the way that I do it, and it's like, man, like he's he's better than some of the artists that are out here, or comparable to some of these artists out here. Um, that that's why I do what I do. Like I want people to feel the safety that creative music has done for me. And the safety that it's created is like it's created the space for me to be 100% authentically me. And so like I want my music to promote that, and I want my music to bring that kind of joy to people.
Nice. And you're absolutely right. Education does, or music and education can have that lasting effect on people, that it will touch people for generations to come. Absolutely. Great job. All right, now, next question. People love to make a big deal about this one, so I'm going to try to hype it up a little. All right. What is your deepest tea? I.e.,
Oh,
something that you've never shared on media before, but something
okay.
you're willing to share, of course.
It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to share it anyway.
Okay.
I'm definitely afraid of spiders. Like I will shut the world down. I will not move from my bed because of a spider. And if you want to make it worse, let it be a tiny spider. If there is a tiny spider and it's not dead, then that means that it's gone in a wall or a crack or a crevice somewhere to make more tiny spiders. And
Okay.
I'm definitely afraid of them. I hope that I'm able, and I feel like I'm gonna say I know Chad likes to do things that make me uncomfortable. Um, I'm I would not be surprised if one day like Chad would have like, hey, you have to have a spider in this video. That would definitely freak me out. But I think that's what the deepest tea that I have right now. I think I'm a pretty open book. Um, I'm a pretty open book once you listen to the album. So when the EP comes out, you'll know everything you want to know.
That's easy. All right. And no shade about that spider thing because I am the same way with spiders and any kind of bug. You know, it's funny. I jokingly say I need a good strong man around the house because, and I know that's heteronormative, but yeah, spiders.
Well, let me go ahead and I'm gonna warn you right now. I have one, and he's scared of spiders. So
You're both afraid of you would both be on different walls, I guess.
pretty much.
Okay, well that's what love is all about. That's what love. That's the beauty of LGBT love because our love doesn't have to follow society's expectations because there are just about none, and we can make it whatever we want it to be, whatever it is for us.
Exactly.
Yes,
Even if that means that both of us are calling the exterminator instead of one of us killing it.
that's right. I know that's right. One spider, it's time to call Terminix. All
That
right.
part.
Yes, that part. All right. So, our fourth of five final questions, and the fourth one is, what are some stumbling blocks that you've had on your path up, and how did you overcome?
Um, I definitely had, as RuPaul likes to say, a saboteur. um, I am super critical of my work. I am like I look at every little detail to a fault. And sometimes I think the downfall that happens, like I sometimes I don't use it as fuel. Sometimes it kind of weighs me down. Um, it being a creative, it sometimes can put you in a dark space because you're always comparing. You're always, both to yourself and to other people at times, like, oh, I wish I was like doing this, blah blah blah. So it can really take you to a dark place when you're not on the track you think you should be on. Um, I think the thing that takes me out of it though is doing the little steps and seeing things come together. Um, Even though you think you're doing nothing. Like there are times where you're sitting and like, oh, I don't feel like I'm putting anything out, but in all actuality, you've done the little pieces for things to come together, and then you're like, oh wait a minute, I forgot that's done already. And so I think that's one of the pitfalls of being creative. But there's, like I said, being able to then step out and see what you have accomplished kind of remedies that at times.
Nice and true, absolutely. So, number five, what are some things that you would like left in a time capsule legacy for your work?
For my work. Um, in a time capsule,
Well, for your existence, if it's more, whatever.
I would want the handwritten lyrics of Make a Move to be placed in there. Um, a lot of times I don't write or type my lyrics until after I've spit them because most times everything is really like a freestyle, and then I'll go back and I might make some changes. Make a Move was a song that I sat and I wrote, um, that I structured, that I planned, like I approached it like an essay for college. Um, and so that, like, to have the concept in my head and to physically see it on a sheet of paper and then to listen to it is like, oh, that's amazing. So I would put I wouldn't even put the digital song. I wouldn't even put the song in there. I'll put just the written lyrics from the first time I wrote it down in the top.
Nice. Very cool. And how much, just curious, um, from you mentioned from the first time you wrote it down, how much did you change from the first time you wrote it down to what is recorded, if anything?
The only thing that really changed was the chorus. I think it was something dumb like it was like make a move, do your do, or something. Like, it was something. It wasn't cute, and I was just like, this sounds very kid. I need to do something with this line.
You can move.
But yeah, I think that was the main change. Um, Everything else was pretty much the same.
Nice. Well, that's how you can tell you've got that mind and you got it in the right way first. Now, thank you very much. This has been week 109, all the tea on Verse TV. This is Don Plus. Don Plus, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Yes, you can find me at it's Don underscore music everywhere. You can find me on Twitter with that, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud. It's Don underscore music. You can find me everywhere. You can stream Don Stars, stream Make a Move, watch the video, put that alert on YouTube, all that stuff.
All right. It's Don underscore music. Now, we are turning off the live. So have a good night, everyone.